Hello, and welcome to a new series on this channel called Revisiting Childhood, where I'll be taking games from my childhood, and most likely yours, and see what made them so great and memorable. Today, we are talking about Battlefield 3, which is a great game that no one really talks about. But before getting to the video, please consider subscribing if you like this type of content, because there is more to come. With all that being said, enjoy watching. The story of Battlefield 3 is great, but it's certainly not something that we haven't seen before. The campaign follows mostly the perspective of Sergeant Blackburn and his mission to stop an impending nuclear attack on New York. We get to follow him through the many missions that he took part in the invasion of Iran and his squad's quest of finding the missing nukes that the PLR, the terrorists of this game, stole from the Russians. What I like about him is that he's not all good, as he kills his commander, but he does this in order to stop the attack on New York. Even though he is the protagonist, we also get to play as a few other people. We play as a pilot in the iconic F-18 mission, as a tank operator in a couple of missions, and this tank operator is the only playable character in this game that dies in one of the saddest moments in the story. We also get to play as Dima, a Russian Special Forces operator who has the same mission as Sergeant Blackburn, to stop the PLR from detonating the nukes, but sadly, he kinda fails, as Paris is blown up. I have to say that the parts of this game where I played as Dima and his squad were the favorites of mine because of the chemistry and the missions. But now let me give you a quick retelling of the story so that I can make sure we all know what we're talking about. The story begins with us, the player, escaping from somewhere, but we don't know yet from where. After this, we get interrogated by some CIA dudes that play good cop, bad cop on us. I really like these cutscenes of the interrogation because they insinuate that Sergeant Blackburn did something wrong, but this is slowly revealed to us. After this, we get to see why the USA invaded Iran, and we get to play in the invasion of Tehran, where our squad actually finds a nuke, unlike the Americans in Iraq. But that exactly is the problem. There should be 3 nukes. From this point forward, our mission is to recover the nukes and prevent Solomon from detonating them. After capturing the president of Iran, we get a possible location for the nukes, but instead, we find Dima there, who tells us where the New York nuke is heading. The CIA guys interrogate us because we had to kill our commander in order to let Dima escape and try and save Paris. After this, they tell us that Solomon is in fact a US asset and that he wouldn't plan an attack on New York, but we escape from their arrest and save the day. With all that being said, this game has a few downsides as well, and namely that the other characters we don't play as are kinda forgettable and don't offer much in terms of story. At the end of the game, when one of Blackburn's friends dies, I didn't really feel anything. It's not like the Modern Warfare series that actually gets you attached to the characters and makes you sad when they die. Even the bad guy of the game, Solomon, is forgettable, as we don't see much of him, except at the end where we smash his face in with a brick. But where this game lacks from the character point of view, it succeeds in terms of memorable moments. From flying a fighter jet to destroying shitty Soviet tanks in the fields of Tehran, this game really offers all. But my favorite mission is the one where we attack the mansion of the weapons dealer who stole the nukes from the Russians. This mission really offers all, from blowing up tanks and planes to falling from helicopters into a pool James Bond style. It has to be the best mission of the game. Another great part of the game is the beginning sequence, because we get straight to business and start shooting. Now watch this cool montage that I made of it. A part of this game that DICE really got right is the level design. Every mission was carefully designed in order for the player to have a great time. My favorite level is the one where we play with the tank for the first time. There is something about the vast open desert that really makes this mission great, and you get to have fun with the tank while making shish kebab out of the enemy. Another part of Battlefield 3 that was greatly designed is the gameplay. The guns feel great, the AI is challenging, and even more challenging than the current NPCs. And no, I'm not talking about your classroom's NPCs. Now let's talk about the multiplayer. And I have to say that this part of the game really impressed me a lot, and not because of what it has to offer from a gameplay point of view, but because 12 years after it launched, I managed to find a few full servers in Europe, and you have to admit that this is impressive. The gameplay is something that you can expect from every Battlefield multiplayer, but sadly I lost the footage of me playing. But I can assure you, I actually had fun. I played with a couple of friends, and the memories of us playing when the game first came out really kicked back. So, in conclusion, to answer the question why is Battlefield 3 so iconic? Well, the short answer is because of its great moments and fun story. If you liked the video and found any of the ideas interesting, please consider subscribing if you like this type of story reviews. Thank you for watching.